Hello, I'm Susan Cadeau. Thank you for being with us. Lawmakers returning to the Capitol next month for the 2017 legislative session will face a familiar problem. For the third straight year, a huge budget hole means legislators will have to find new sources of revenue or make further cuts to state services. That could mean another tough year for Oklahoma's public schools, which face rising class sizes and difficulty putting qualified teachers into the classroom.
Legislative leaders in recent weeks have repeatedly called teacher pay a top priority, insisting lawmakers must find a way to give educators a long overdue salary bump. State Representative Charles McCall again emphasized that point following his formal election this week as the new Speaker of the House.
I understand revenues are down, but I believe we can work together and craft a responsible pay increase for a group of individuals that are so critical to our state.
The issue of teacher pay was one of several topics during a legislative hearing this week into the Department of Education's budget request for fiscal year 2018. State Superintendent of Public Instruction Joy Hoffmeister presented lawmakers with a request for $2.6 billion in state funds, an increase of $221 million over the current fiscal year.
We recognize that this is one of the largest requests that will be brought to you. The need is great, and we believe we have a duty and responsibility and obligation to make certain that the requests that we ask are going to fulfill the needs of students.
The budget request includes an additional $56 million to keep up with the growth in enrollment over the past year. Hoffmeister told lawmakers to get back to pre-recession levels, the agency would need an additional $300 million.
We're operating on the same dollars as 2008 in education, but with about 50,000 more students.
The request does not include an additional $282 million to give teachers a $3,000 pay raise and add 4 additional days to the school calendar. According to an analysis by the National Education Association, Oklahoma teachers have the lowest average salary of all states in the region at $44,921 annually, and Oklahoma minimum salaries had not increased since 2008, contributing to what Hoffmeister calls an historic teacher shortage.
Part of the problem that we face is that we have many teachers who are willing to serve, but they may not have the experience yet, or they may not have the certification completed to be in the field of need.
Oklahoma State School Board Association Executive Director Sean Himes says the teacher shortage is evident in the number of emergency certifications that the Education Department has issued.
We're at an all-time record high for that. We've passed 1,000 already for the year, and we're only halfway through this year. There's a real crisis in the classroom when it comes to finding teachers.
Oklahoma has seen an explosive growth in emergency certifications, which set a new record of 1,086 in the current school year. Himes says low teacher pay relative to other fields means fewer young people are getting education degrees.
I mean, if you're going to go to college and get a 4-year degree, you want to make what a 4-year degree brings in other fields. Right now, you go to college to be a teacher, get a 4-year degree as a teacher, you're making what the assistant manager at Panda Garden makes. That's not what our college students, I have 2 sons in college, that's not where they want to go.
Hoffmeister pointed to statistics that show the teacher pipeline is drying up in Oklahoma, with enrollment in the College of Education at Northeastern State University down more than 30% in the past 2 years.
So even if we pass a teacher shortage, even if we pass a teacher pay raise and we are regionally competitive, this is not a problem that fixes itself or can be turned around in 1 year.
Not all lawmakers were receptive to the budget request. Following Hoffmeister's presentation, Representative Kevin Calvi issued a press release saying, "In a year in which we are facing a revenue deficit close to $900 million, Superintendent Hoffmeister offers no real solutions for streamlining our education system to make it more efficient and to target student needs." Calvi also says Hoffmeister declined to address the problem of excessive administration and other non-classroom teacher staff in Oklahoma public schools. Himes disputes the charge that Oklahoma schools are top-heavy with administrators. and argues the growth in non-classroom teacher staff is being driven by the lack of available teachers.
With the budget being down and the teacher shortage, schools are hiring teacher assistants, paraprofessionals for special education students, and other support employees. Those aren't administrators, those are support employees that help students. Our number of administrators is actually lower. Our administrative cost has gone down. Our per student to administrator ratio is lower than any school or state in the region.
Despite the difficulties presented by the budget shortfall, Himes believes talk of a teacher pay raise is more than political rhetoric this year.
We can all talk about teacher pay, but how are we going to fund it in a time where our budget has a deficit? I think they're very committed to looking at a long-term funding stream for schools that will help us compensate teachers at a competitive rate.